An 8th win for MIE Emirates in DP World ILT20 Season 4. And it's an important one because this win has now secured a spot into the final for MIE Emirates for the second time in the history of DP World ILT20. Now, we'd like to thank all the sponsors of the DP World International League T20 Season 4. DP World, 1xBet, Big Ticket, TCL, The Cycle Hub, Exchange On and Crypto Cash. DP World ILT20 would also like to thank all governmental organizations, stadium authorities, and all those who were involved in the smooth conduct of this match. Now, the first award for tonight's presentation is the DP World Dispatch of the Day. The winner gets a trophy and a check of US $1,500. And the award goes to Tom Banton for his 6-over cover of the bowling of Ollie Stone. He receives his award from Mr. Zaid Abbas, board member, Emirates Cricket Board. And it was a glorious stroke from the right-handed top-order batter in full form, in full class. There he is receiving his award from Mr. Zaid Abbas, board member, Emirates Cricket Board. Congratulations to Tom Banton. We're moving on now. I'd like to ask Jason Holder of the Abu Dhabi Knight Riders to come forward. Jason, end of the road in this season for DP World ILT20, 120 batting first. Not sufficient runs. Can you put a handle on what accounted for this sort of effort?
Yeah, it's tough, man. I thought the wicket was a tough wicket to start on. Obviously, we didn't get it going in the power play. Well, probably not throughout the innings. So it was tough, 120 on this pitch, it's quite dewy now, quite wet. Yeah, it's tough to actually defend it as well, too. I thought the bowlers did a reasonable job in trying to, defend the game, but, it's just a tall ask. Yeah,
as I mentioned, you're coming to the end of this season, but it's a record high for Abu Dhabi Knight Riders because it's the first time you've gone past the eliminator round. Is that justice for your efforts this season?
Yeah, I think where we were at the midway point in this competition, yes, it's probably a good effort. But I think when you look at things holistically from the grand scheme of things, I think we probably fell short and let ourselves down a little bit, if we're being brutally honest. But I think having said that, I still credit to everybody in the dressing room, support staff as well, to everybody did a remarkable job in terms of gearing themselves up every single day and trying to come back and be better. We obviously fell short, but I thought the effort, to get ourselves into the playoffs was tremendous. And then just unfortunately, we weren't able to carry it deeper.
Just looking at the tournament from an overall perspective, you've been here a couple of times. What would stand out for you in terms of your participation this season?
Yeah, a lot of things, I thought our locals did a really good job. Ajay was outstanding for us all season. Ali Shan, again, he showed way. He's one of their better players as well, too. So those two bright sparks for us were really good. I was loved to see Peps coming back in the tournament and deliver for us. Unfortunately, how he got run out today. But I think those three really stood up for us in terms of the tournament. Obviously, Salty, with his valiant effort in terms of his, managing his injuries and what's not. Livy as well, too, came in. I think everybody chipped out at some point in the tournament. We weren't able to put it together holistically more often than not. But, having said it, that's how cricket goes sometimes.
Well, you were exceptional, Jason Holder. Tough luck tonight and travel safely.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Right, that was Jason Holder, captain of the Abu Dhabi Knight Riders. I now invite Karen Pollard, the winning captain, to come forward. Karen, I must say you got the better of me tonight in terms of my prediction, so congratulations. Now, your reaction and emotions, this win now securing a spot in the final for the second time in the history of this tournament.
It feels good, but firstly, I just like the idea that you admitted first time that you went against us and, we won. So, yeah, and I did what you asked to prove you wrong. But, yeah, that's a small banter. But, yeah, emotions are high, emotions are great. The way the guys have performed throughout the entire tournament, you can't fault them. We have guys coming in, guys going out. Just before the toss, had an injury, as well. And the guys have responded pretty well. 120,
of course, after you sent the opposition in, how much of that was tactical, condition-based, or maybe self-inflicted from the opposition batters?
I guess you can put it down to a bit of everything that you just said there. Because obviously, I think it was still a decent, batting track. I think the ball went on a bit in the second innings because of the dew, which we knew was going to come in, here. But in games like these on a small ground like that, I think it's very important that you actually see what's in front of you. It's very hard to defend runs on a small ground, like this. And the way that we started and at the 8-over stage, I know that, okay, if we stick with it, 140 would have been, challenging.
What prompted that tactical move to use spin forwards or spin in the power play?
If you look at it, the history of the Knight Riders and their batters, they won the ball coming onto the bat. If you look at the third over, the fourth over when the seamer bowled, their back lifts were a bit higher and they looked more confident, when the seamers was on. But I had to try to match and mix in order to get, the combination right within that first 6 overs. But, the last 2 games we play against them, spin came up trumps as well.
You did speak about getting better and embracing the new year following that loss in Qualifier 1. Looking forward towards this final, and how much a challenge would the Vipers be?
They're going to be a challenge. I said after the last game when they beat us, they have played tremendous cricket throughout the entire tournament. So I didn't think that we should have felt sorry, for ourselves, the way that they went about it. But again, for us, I think the pressure is back on them. I'm saying it because, they have not won. We understand what it is, to win. And they have been to the finals a couple of times and they have faltered. So, for us, it's one of just continuing our process, not getting too far ahead of ourselves. And, just trying to play cricket how it's supposed to be played. We have been here for over 6 weeks now, the guys have been, and it's down to one final game and one final effort.
Well, we are all very impressed with your tactical moves and your captaincy. Congratulations again to Karen Pollard, and all the very best in the final.
Thank you very much.
Right, that was the winning captain, Karen Pollard. It's time now for us to announce the player of the match, and that award and winner will get a trophy and a check for US $1,500. And the award goes to Shakib Al Hassan. Firstly, for his bowling effort, none for 20 in 4, so frugal in the power play phase. And then that innings of 38 from 23, a strike rate of 165, 1 6 and 5 4s, and taking his team close to the finish line, just 3 runs away. And we will have a chat with him. First, Shakib, you just turned back the hands of time with that effort there. How special was that, and what was the contributor factor in that all-round effort that you showed?
Yeah, I think it was a very important game for us. Obviously, must-win game for both teams. Luckily, we won the toss, and I think all the bowlers bowled exceptionally. We kept on taking wickets. I think that was the key factor. I think Ghazanfar bowled really well. All other bowlers chipped in, didn't go on for too many runs. I think that was the key. We kept on taking wickets, so they didn't get the partnership they actually needed. And in the end, with the batting, I think it was about bad times, bad overs. We knew that threat is going to be their spinners, so we had to handle them, and that was my job today, and luckily I could do it for the team.
You spoke about the bowling. You bowled that very first over. Was that a tricky surface? What was your assessment of the pitch?
There was a little bit for the bowlers. It wasn't easier wicket to get away, but yeah, I think if you bat sensibly, you can score runs on the on that track. But having said that, on a pressure game, when you kept on losing wicket, it's hard to come back.
The partnership with yourself and Tom Banton really took the game again and away from the Knight Riders. Talk to us a little bit about your discussions with him and what was guiding you when you arrived in that 8 over.
Yeah, I think in the team meeting, everyone knew my job would be to handle the spinners more. Tom's job was to bat through. I took the spinners on. Luckily, it paid off. Took the pressure off from Tom, and he carried it through the innings. Really special innings from him. Someone batting at the top, scoring runs, bat 15-16 over. That's the team talk from most of the teams, and he's been doing it for us, so we are thankful to him.
Well, Shakib, you were superb tonight. Enjoy your award, and all the very best to you in the final.
Thank you so much.
Right, that was our player of the match, and as we wrap this Qualifier 2, it's MIE Emirates winning once more and securing a spot in the final.